Today we're going to look at a knife that is both overbuilt and it features a blade steel that I really was not expecting at all. Hey, I'm Jay, and if you use and collect pocket knives like I do, or maybe you're still searching for your ever-elusive grail knife, click on subscribe so I can help you find it. So you should be looking at the specs right now. Go ahead and pause and read for those interested. First, we'll go ahead and talk about what I like about this knife and some of the potential deal breakers that I see of this CH3511. And I have to tell you, the one thing that I initially noticed was the action is absolutely incredible. And that is a big, thick blade that it is flinging out. And the action, watch this, look at this. Ready? Yes, that is dropping shut. Absolutely gorgeous. And that's going to be, well, because of the, of course, ball bearing pivot, and the 3511 features one of the strongest detents that I have ever experienced. So those together combined just make for fantastic action. I love the shape of this blade. Just a traditional drop point, and yes, it does have a stonewash finish with a flat grind. Look at that thickness. I like it. 4 millimeters thick. And that's going to be 154 cm blade steel, which I just was not expecting on a CH knife. I mean, nowadays you would expect what? Maybe VG10 or D2. But yeah, 154 cm, and that's fine. I mean, it's not the best steel in the world, but you know what? It's pretty good. It's right up there with, I would put it close to VG10. The flipper tab, very, very small. Always love that. The body screws, I found this very interesting as well. The body screws, of which there are only 2, they are the same size as the pivot, and that's T8. This very large handle is awfully comfortable. I mean, there are no sharp edges anywhere on this knife. Now, these G10 scales do provide pretty decent traction, and let me see if I can show you this. Now, this design here on the scales is kind of like carved into the G10. So it's going to be the black layer, and then the white layer is kind of recessed, and then it looks like the blue comes up a little bit. Doesn't this kind of remind you know what this reminds me of? You remember the socks, those knee-high socks that you were forced to wear as a little kid, like for gym class or whatever, and it would be those like knee-high white with just like a single or two like a solid band around the top. That's what that reminds me of. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the scale, and so we can see how much that this thing is gonna weigh you down. All right, before I go ahead and throw this up on the scale, I just wanted to show you guys, if you can see that. Yeah, they did skeletonize those liners extensively. So let's see how that helps out the weight. Wow, 4.8 ounces. I honestly expected that to be a lot heavier, which is going to be roughly the equivalent of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like 6 AA batteries or 1 cold steel Ultimate Hunter. Exact same weight. And you know what? I almost forgot to show you guys the size comparison. So we'll go ahead and of course bring out the Spyderco PM2, and as long as I have this guy sitting out, again the Cold Steel Ultimate Hunter. What's another good one? We'll go with another Spyderco Endura 4, and let's do one more. This ought to take care of it. The Kershaw Skyline. Now, before I go ahead and show you all of the potential deal breakers, I just want to quickly remind you guys to go ahead and click on that subscribe button if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point. The first potential deal breaker that I noticed has to be the handle thickness at 0.58 inches. That's pretty thick. And you know what? I want to bring in another knife just to help demonstrate that. Again, Cold Steel Ultimate Hunter. And let's see, I'm going to hold these two up next to each other and see if you guys can get a look. So on the left here is the 3511, on the right is the Ultimate Hunter. So the Ultimate Hunter does measure in at 0.62 inches, and again 3511 is 0.58. So while no, it's not the same thickness as the Ultimate Hunter, it's pretty darn close. And this knife is notorious for having just a fat, juicy handle, which, by the way, I have reviewed the Ultimate Hunter. So if you go ahead and click up here in the corner once this video is over, you can see my full review of the Ultimate Hunter. Next is going to be the pocket clip. And because it just looks like it does not belong on this knife. Now, I know this is a standard pocket clip that you do see a lot on the CH knives, but it's just a stamped steel. I mean, not too much handle sticking out of the pocket, so actually that is not too bad. But if you look at the clip this way, it just looks like there is not much room under that clip for your pocket material. It still works. It's just a very, very tight fit. And not to mention that this clip, it's going to be so tip up only for righties. No lefty love once again. Next potential deal breaker is going to be the jimping on the spine of the blade, if you can even call it jimping, because look at how far the spacing is. Really, like this is more decorative than anything. So if that's the case, I would really probably just prefer that it's not there altogether. I mean, yeah, because what's the point of it? The blade centering. Oh yeah, she's off. She's definitely off. I mean, it's not rubbing, but it is definitely not centered. And the last potential deal breaker is going to be the price. $60. While $60, no, in the grand scheme of things, is not all that expensive. However, when you have companies like Bestech out there nowadays, I mean, this is D2 steel for $50. G10, granted, it's a little bit smaller knife and the blade stock is a little thinner, but still, I don't know about you, but I think I would prefer the D2. Or how about this Stack Gear Ausis with its, look at those micarta scales. D2 blade also can be had for $50. So, you know, I know we're only talking about a $10 difference, but considering the blade steel is nothing exotic, the handle, you know, it's just G10. There's really nothing complicated going on here. You know, for me anyway, would have to get this at around 40, because otherwise, again, what's the point when you can get these for less money? And before we go, guys, I would like to hear from you. Do you prefer D2 over 154 cm? Yes, that might on the surface sound like a crazy question, but think about how much more corrosion resistant 154 cm is over the D2. So now, with knowing that, would you take 154 cm over D2? Let me know, comment section down below.